What's poppin' YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Astro with Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And this video right here is if your North Node is in the sign of Libra. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know what your North Node is, if you don't know how to find your North Node, if you're a new subscriber, if you're just starting off your journey of self-love, self-knowledge, self-understanding, if you don't understand how imperatively important it is to study yourself, to learn yourself, to understand yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There are a couple of videos, I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart or your natal chart, it's the same thing. And you realize that your North Node is in Libra, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it poppin', shall we? You already know before I start, I'm gonna give y'all a list of some celebrities so y'all can visually see what North Node and Libra people look like and act like in reality. So to start, we got Madonna, your boy Michael Jackson, rest in peace, Shakira, Kanye West, Bruce Lee, Kendall Jenner, James Franco, Tina Turner, John Mayer, Zendaya, Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather, John Cena, Sade, Zoe Saldana, Tamar Braxton, and Richard Pryor, rest in peace. Alright, so boom, North Node and Libra. First of all, what does the North Node and the South Node mean? What does that represent in your chart? The North Nodes and the South Nodes are not planets, they're not asteroids, but they're like nodes. They're nodes of the moon, and it represents your destiny, which is your North Node, like your North Star, where you're supposed to go towards your destiny, and your karmic past, and that's the South Node, your past. So before I even start, we all have to understand that we have all lived many past lives before. It's not the first time being in this human experience. It's not the first time being on this earth plane. We all have lived many past lives before. We are currently using the body using right now, the vessel. We're using this body, using this vessel to carry out our purpose, to carry out our mission. We lived many past lives before, but because our human brain is so small, we're not gonna remember what we did back in the day. But a lot of us would have that have that urge that, damn, I'm here to do something bigger. I just have a need to do something. That's when people find their purpose, when they get into their purpose. A lot of us spend this lifetime trying to find our purpose and try to remember what we did in our past life, try to like go in line with our purpose. Astrology gives you your blueprint and tells you exactly what you did in your past life and how you're supposed to progress in this lifetime. Some of us can even live this lifetime not even knowing our purpose, not living in our purpose. And that's like a waste of this earth plane experience. And then they'll have to come back here again and start all over. So it's very important that you look at your birth chart, study it, and know exactly what kind of energies you have inside you to see what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. So the North Node is what you're supposed to be working towards, the characteristics, what you're supposed to be working towards, your destiny. The South Node is what you have been doing in the past, the characteristics that you have embodied inside your soul already. So you come into this lifetime in this body, in this physical body, with your South Node characteristics very strong inside yourself, because that's what you have been doing in your past life for many, many years, many lifetimes. So we're supposed to try to pull away from our South Node. Our South Node is our comfort zone. We're supposed to try and pull away from our South Node, our comfort zone, and move towards our North Node, our destiny. This dynamic is very uncomfortable because it's like telling somebody that feels very comfortable doing something for many lifetimes, many destinies, many years, and telling them to all of a sudden change and do something completely opposite, completely different from what they're used to. But understand that when you pull yourself out of your South Node and walk towards your destiny, your North Node, you will feel fulfilled. Your soul will feel fulfilled. You'll be carrying out the mission you came here to carry out. We all came here for a reason. So North Node is what you're supposed to go towards. And your North Node is going to always be the opposite of the South Node. So in this case, having a Libra North Node, your Libra destiny, That means in your past life, the opposite of Libra is Aries. So your past life, your South Node your karmic past is automatically Aries. So what does this mean? So having an Aries South Node, that's your karmic past. You definitely were the type to be like a warrior type person. You had a lot of Aries characteristics. So you definitely was a person that was a warrior type person. You always have to fight to survive. You always have to be by yourself. You always have to think for yourself. You always have to do things on the cuff without having to like sit down and think. You like in survival mode a lot. So you have this instinct about you that you always have to be in survival mode. You always have to think for yourself. You don't always have to think through things a lot. You just have to be impulsive and do things on the cuff. Because like when you're in survival mode, you don't have time to sit around and like trying to contemplate things. You have to survive. You have to do what you have to do. So you were always on the move, very physically active, a warrior type person. Always had to fight for what you wanted. Always had to do things by yourself, very independent. You always have to think for yourself. You always have to think by yourself, very like a loner type person. You come into this lifetime with all those Aries characteristics. You come into this lifetime thinking for yourself a lot. You come into this lifetime not really wanting to connect with people like that. You come into this lifetime doing things impulsively. You come into this lifetime just being very aggressive when you speak as well. It's like when you say something to somebody, a lot of times y'all don't really think about how what you're saying or what you're doing in general can affect people around you, because you're always been so used to doing things for yourself and by yourself. Remember, Aries is the I am, so Aries is all about the self and the me aspect. They're the babies of the zodiac. They think about themselves a lot, selfish tendencies. So your past life, you come into this life with all those characteristics and all those tendencies deeply embodied inside your person. That's your karmic past. That's your comfort zone. You feel very comfortable being extremely individualistic, being extremely independent, not wanting to worry about nobody else, not wanting to receive help from nobody else is a very big thing. You didn't like getting help from people. You always like, I could do it myself, because you're used to doing it yourself. You have to survive for yourself. You have to fight all the time for your survival for yourself in your past life. So that's your comfort zone. So you come into this lifetime and your destiny is to go towards your Libra North Node, to go towards the Libra characteristics, go towards your Libra destiny. And what does that mean? We all know Libras are the exact opposite of Aries. Aries think about themselves all the time. Libras are the type to actually want to connect with others. Libras rule by the scales. Libras love partnerships, rule by the 7th house. So they like marriages, partnerships, relationships. So Libra is all about putting two together instead of being individualistic like an Aries person. So your South Node in Aries, you're supposed to actually work towards, and this is why it's very hard doing your North Node characteristics, walking towards your destiny. Things that come easy, things that are easy does not change you as a person. So it's not going to be easy like changing your South Node tendencies and walking towards your North Node. So I'm not saying like you're supposed to completely forget your South Node energy. You're supposed to completely not be individualistic no more. You're supposed to completely just think about everybody else all the time. But you have to work your hardest to try and work towards becoming more Libra-like in your characteristics, in your attitudes, and your mannerisms. So that means that you want to become more, you want to connect with people more. You want to actually think about somebody else before yourself when you're making like big decisions or when you're doing things. Naturally, you always just think about yourself. Aries is all about me. But now you're being called upon to actually want to think about somebody else before yourself. Think about what you do and how you do. Think about what you're doing and how you're doing it can affect people around you. It's all about putting yourself in somebody's shoes when it comes to what you're doing. Relationships for y'all in this lifetime will be a big blessing and a big help to help you propel into your North Node energy. Because like I said, y'all was so used to being individualistic, so used to being by yourself. So now being called upon to actually connect with people more, actually get into relationships and actually be able to compromise. And this compromising word is a very big, harsh word for Aries energy. I'm an Aries sun myself, so I understand 100% how hard it is to compromise, because it's like, I know what's best for me. I want to do what I want. I could be selfish. I could be just me oriented. So it's like compromising means that you have to actually stop what you wanted to do and allow somebody else's ideas or somebody else's ideologies deter your judgment or deter your source of movement. So compromising is very hard for Aries energy because they automatically want to be impulsive and do what they want because they already have that me attitude, that I am attitude. But you're being called upon to get out your comfort zone, to get out that South Node tendency, to actually want to compromise with people, to connect with people, get into relationships with people, become more Libra charismatic, and actually, like, you know, be careful about how you're saying things and what you say to people, because Aries can be very straight to the point, very harsh, very brash. When they're saying things, they could say things that is the truth. They could say things that needs to be said and just say it straightforward and very blunt. And Libras know how to say the truth in a way that is pleasing to the ear, or in a way that is not too blunt and too harsh, but it still comes out. So you have to work on, you know, being careful about what you say and how you say to people, being able to be like charming instead of being so in your face and so blunt and so brash. Actually be able to like mingle and socialize in your environment rather than being so individualistic and such a loner. So this is a very hard placement because you're so used to being by yourself, but understand that when you actually allow yourself to be in relationships, when you actually open yourself up to love and to be in partnerships and relationships with people, you will feel that your soul is feeling fulfilled. You'll be carrying out the life purpose mission that you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime, going towards your destiny. We're always supposed to be moving forward, not backwards. If you get stuck in your loner ways and your loner tendencies, and it's kind of hard for me saying all this because I'm an Aries sun, so I understand 100% this loner tendencies, this independence, this like all about I know what's best to me and I don't want to listen to nobody. So it's like it's kind of hard for me to give y'all this advice because I know what it's like, but I don't have a Libra North Node, so I could tell y'all this. But listen, bro, understand that it's very important to actually get yourself out there and to connect with people and to stop being so me oriented and to be more us and we oriented, to actually want to get into relationships with people, care about people's minds and ideologies, have that balance in your life for not always being by yourself so much, not always being so selfish so much, and actually allow somebody else's mind, somebody else's energy to balance yours out. It's all about that balance. So it's important to understand that you are very ambitious. Aries energy is very ambitious. Aries energy always wants to go after what they want, and they always get it because they always put their head down like the bull and just go like the ram, and they just go and get what they want. But it's also important to slow down just a little bit, have a little more patience, think things through before you do things a little more. Think things through before you do things just a little more, so you can actually, you know, be able to see what your actions do and how they affect people around you. This is a very big thing for this energy, to really be able to understand how your actions affect people around you. And I don't think I ever said this, but I've seen a lot of questions about the house placements and North Nodes. So it's very important to know your North Node, to know what it is, and to also pay attention to what house it is in. So the North Node placement is what you have to work on, and the house placement that it is in is where you have to work on this energy. So for example, like you have a Libra North Node, so understand that you have to work on connecting with people. If your Libra North Node is in the third house of Gemini, house of communications, that means you have to work on connections in communicative ways in your community, in the Gemini tendencies. So it's all about knowing the house placement. If it's like in the sixth house, understand you have to work on your Libra North Node in the energy and in the place of Virgo tendencies, the Virgo energy of your everyday activities, of your perfectionisticness, of your everyday mundane like work ethic. Like really be able to pinpoint your North Node and know where it's in. It tells you where you have to work on these things. Work on these things with your everyday mundane activities in the sixth house. If it's in the second house, work on your monetary possessions, or work on your selfishness, as in like holding things too much close to yourself. Like work on that Taurus energy in the second house. So know your North Node, know what house it's in. The North Node is what you have to work on. The house placement is where you have to work on in your life. So it's very important to know where your North Node house position is in. So all in all though, Libra North Node people, understand that you have to become more Libra-esque in your lifetime. Become more people-pleasing, so a little more people-pleasing rather than being so forget y'all. I don't like people. Like, I don't care about y'all. Like, I do me. I want to do myself. Like, I'm the shit. I feel like I'm the shit. It's like, instead of being so like against people all the time, become more people oriented. Become more connective around your environment. Actually get yourself into relationships and see how much you will grow as a person being indulged into relationships like that. You're so used to your South Node being by yourself. You're so used to being brash. You're so used to being impulsive. You're so used to doing things your own way all the time. You're so used to battling and fighting to survive. You're just so used to doing these things to survive. Now the universe says, the war is over. Now you can actually get out there. You can actually socialize with people. Libras are masters at socializing. They're really good at mingling and actually talking to people. So it's like the war is over now. The battle is over. You can relax a little bit. Now it's your time to actually go out there and connect with people around you, to actually mingle with people around you, to build relationships. Try to mediate relationships rather than fighting all the time. Aries energy tends to like to fight all the time. They don't want you to care about the other person's point of view. Libras like to mediate fights all the time. They like to peacekeep and make things even peel kind of thing. So you have to work on actually wanting to have relationships and know how to mend them. If instead of fighting all the time, try to work on mending relationships and mediating relationships. Don't want to always be on the edge and like forget relationships all the time. You want to actually like be able to peacekeep it a little bit, to mend it, to just make it peaceful. Instead of being so battle oriented, become more peaceful. The war is over. Now you can actually get in relationships with people and have like you will see yourself, your life grow and progress the more you actually get in relationships with people. Relationships is a really big thing because y'all so used to being a loner, used to being alone, individualistic. Get into relationships with people and you'll see how your life will progress. So that's my video on North Node and Libra. Hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on North Node and Scorpio, and that's my placement. You already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real. If you haven't subscribed yet though, go ahead and handle it one time for your boy. Drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy Lo Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm going to see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.